we're just waiting for Kent. Get revved up in the morning, don't have a box, and I decided I'm going to rinse today. Weapon at Weeks out today. Hope you all enjoyed helmets. That's all right. Think I'll go to factory this morning. Kent, this morning. Have a little bit of a workout. Think I'll go to factory this morning, Kent, after this. Have a little bit of a workout. I don't really fancy doing any filming today because I'm going to Nicky's, aren't I, later? Smedley's. So we'll see.
I've actually took a bit of a week off training this week.
Yeah. I've got to go up there about 7 o'clock. Do we have it like? It's a rate drive up there in Sheffield, isn't it? But I want to get him on. I haven't seen him for a bit, and he's getting ready to fight Michael the Emperor. That'll be good, won't it?
Oh, flip me.
Former champion, 16-1 pro, has been in with Amir Khan for ABA title year before, because he lost to Amir, didn't he? ABA found the money year after he went Olympics, didn't he? So Nicky, he's got an arm from 13-11, I think. He's only got another half a stone to go, and they're going to get at it. So that'll be interesting, won't it? If he turns up, be a good night, won't it?
No.
Telling you, people should think, shouldn't they, before they fucking open the cakes. Right, Ken, Conor Benn, we took out at rankings the other day, wasn't he, about 11 o'clock at night on WBC website. So does it look like he's going to get banned, do you think?
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, if there's any justice, yeah. He's failed 4 drug tests, Russell. They put that crap on TalkSport last week. They brought some doctor on. What about Dr. Usman? What about him? Why is Eddie Hearn, or why is TalkSport not asking them questions? You know, where's this doctor he was employing?
He's Dr. on Usman. About to China, isn't he?
Why is nobody talking about him? Does he just mysteriously disappeared off the face of the earth? You know, what's his take on it all?
I'll tell you what's happened there. Conor Benn's opened his mouth, and his dad and all the rest of them, they've all had a good say, haven't they? Eddie Hills, all of them. And between them, they've dug an hole for that husband all the way back to Punjab, haven't they? That's what they've done. So,
and to be honest with you, they've spent an absolute fortune on legal fees, brought in these doctors, brought in these documents. They have cost themselves an absolute, rightly so. You know, he's failed 4 drugs tests, and I watched that tutorial the other week on YouTube with the doctor. And I have a friend of mine that is actually a doctor himself, and I sent it to him, and he was just laughing at it. He says that's just laughable. That you know, basically they're saying that his body doesn't metabolize Clomid in his body, and that's why. But if that's the case, why did this never happen before? Why did this never happen before that happened, if that makes sense? And they were trying to say that, yeah, there's actually a couple of fighters that have failed drug tests with Clomid, and they're probably the same. And there has to be, you know, that there has to be something there with Clomid levels. It was just laughable. It was just and I had this guy coming on talking about this young broken man who was broken and all. And
he didn't look broken when he was trying to strangle Kell Brook at that show, did he?
Exactly, and he didn't seem broken whenever he was trolling Eubank Jr. Whenever he got knocked out by Beatty Smith. It's just
turn it on and off like the one nowadays. When things are going great, I've noticed this about a lot of people. In fact, I've noticed about people who've been in my circle, and they know they are, and I don't give a shit you're watching. So I go through people like doses of salt. I'm not bragging, but I seem to meet a lot of new people lately, and then I figure them out after a few weeks. That's what I do. I figure them out, and I just think that we don't know what they're doing. So
I think they know what they're doing, but they don't know how to do it well. If that makes sense, they you know, the best advice he could have got was say, "Yep, strict liability. It's in my system. I took something that it was in my system. I'll take the ban, and I'll be back in 6 months to a year." And it would have. It's coming up to that. Well, it's not really. It's July now. It would have. What was that? October last year. The money that they've spent, and he just looks like an abs. Every time he speaks, he just comes across.
He'll need a fight to shake ring rust off, won't he now? Or 2 or 3, won't he, when he comes back?
He comes across
all of again.
As an absolute weapon.
He is a weapon.
He's a spoiled brat. You know, he was brought up in a private school. You know, he's never had to fight for anything in his life. He's an absolute weapon. And to be honest with you, I think it's getting to the stage now where the money that they've spent, he's going to need to do something. You know, all them fees that he's all them people that he's hired. Eddie Hearn's not going to be paying for that, Russell.
Listen, if you've got a mortgage, right, £500,000 mortgage, right, and you had it on a fixed rate, let me tell you this: your mortgage has gone up £1,545 from December the 1st this year. That's if you've got £500,000 in mortgages around your neck. He'll have at least £1 million, right? Because he rents big houses out, doesn't he? He lives on Eddie Hearn Street, doesn't he? Or in that little village, it's stock. Deer down there is 150 grand for a little tiny little garage in it and your garden or something. Mega dear, in it. Houses up here, they pay for a garage down there, don't they?
Yeah.
Theo come up here and I took him in village. The house there for sale, Mickey goes, how much? I was 40 grand. He went, 40 grand? He make there with his 20 grand oven in his kitchen. He went, 40 grand? He went, what's that? What does that make a week? I was, I don't know, about 90 quid, isn't it? Rent. So he went, pay that for me breakfast, Porky. Because it's different out to down there, isn't it, than up here. They all think we're hillbillies, don't they, up here? But down there, it's a con, isn't it? So if his mortgage has gone up £1 million, he's £3 grand a month worse off, isn't he? £3 grand a month you've got to find extra. That's not money, that, isn't it?
A lot of money, and
especially all the legal fees and all that, and he haven't fought. If he fights in October, which they're now saying, he'll be 18 months hard at ring. And he'll need a check-off fight, won't he? A bit of rust and all that crap. We'll have to go through it all again, won't we? Like that, Kent. Oh my God, it's like that film, innit? 48 hours, then another 48 hours, then yet another. It's like Fast and Furious, isn't it? How many films of that is there? All? What's that other one? Essex Boys. There's about 20 films of that, isn't it?
Oh, they're terrible.
That, I don't know who to believe and all that. They didn't even out of jail out there who did it now. Oh, one of them is. It's been going on that long.
Craig Fairbrass is a 60-year-old man playing a 25-year-old person, and it's just ridiculous.
What about
ridiculous
with him who plays Tony Tucker? He's a bald-headed man in real life, running around with a wig on.
Terrible.
That's the only role they could do.
Terrible.
And they're going on about people that are dead. Everybody's got a story and bringing, but we don't know what's true, what's not true, do we?
They're making a fortune at dead people. They're making a fortune at dead people.
That YouTuber from up north, who's a big hard man, keeps going on about what he's done, this and that, and everybody he mentions, they're all dead. You know the Group N rally driver bloke?
Oh,
I forgot his name now.
Cockrell.
He was having beef with that Darren G.
he was meant to be. He said in one of his interviews that he was offered to play American football for the.
Why is that? Because he bought a top like this from
for the Dolphins. For the Dolphins, he was offered to be Davey Boy Smith's tag team partner in the WWF.
Davey Boy Smith's dead. How can we check that up?
He was a Group N rally driver. He had bare knuckle fights.
Oh, wait, yeah, I've heard the Group N one. Why don't we call him McRae? He's dead.
Terrible. Yeah, absolutely.
He had a fight with Lee Duffy, didn't he? Who was a tough bloke, or he was tough. He's passed away, hasn't he? Cockrell had a fight with him, didn't he? So he says.
You know, it's Walter Mitty land, like it's farcical. making movies and all. There's all
Well, a
sorts of
bloke
movies
running
being made
around taxing people and bragging about it.
talking about tax man. He's never paid.
Around here. Taxing people. Yeah, what would you do for a living? I go around taxing drug dealers, me. Oh, do you? Good luck with that one. I can imagine him coming to South Yorkshire, mate, and carrying off like that. I don't know what was putting off. I don't know who he were taxing, but from what I've heard, there were bits of kids with bits of weed and they weren't junkies. He wasn't going around bothering proper people, were he? He wasn't going around bothering proper people, were he? I do know people that used to go do things like that and they weren't going to somebody's house to take a couple of ounces of green off them. They were going in and taking them away and holding them hostage all weekend. You know, that kind of carry on. So some pretty heavy stuff like, but we weren't going in and taking a bit of weed off people. I mean, why would you brag about it anyway? Why would you brag about that?
Call yourself a tax man, never paid tax in his life.
Listen, mate. What goes around comes around, doesn't it? Okay, Savannah. She's got a tough mandatory if she takes it, hasn't she?
I think it's good. I think what you want to be doing in a career as a world champion, you want to be fighting the best possible opposition.
Yeah.
Female boxing, there isn't great depth in the divisions, and that's not fair on the champions. So when you have an opportunity to fight really good opposition and fight the best out there, it's not only good for the fans, but it's actually going to help you as a fighter. It's going to bring you on as a fighter. I fought her last fight. I had her winning the last fight by 7 rounds. I had her winning it quite convincingly, but it was a tricky fight. It was a difficult fight, but I think she won it quite convincingly. And I think if she wants to fight a Shields fight again, if she wants that fight again, and if that's going to happen, you need to be in hard fights. You need to be fighting the best possible opposition you can before you step up into elite world level again. Because Shields is an elite fighter. She is an elite fighter. And I think there would be no point in Savannah just having knockover fights. And I don't think Peter Fury would want to waste his time training Savannah for 2.5 months.
You don't want knockover fights now. There's apart from Aaron Shields, that you could probably count them on your hand now who's any good in women's boxing, can't you?
Yeah, the depth isn't great. You know, the depth isn't there.
Maybe two hands. Natasha Jonas, Katie Taylor, Savannah Shields, Chantel. They call them
Gardner,
don't they? Boom Gardner. Could you put Terry Harper in that mix? You could, couldn't you?
No.
Why?
No, because I think Terry Harper's a good fighter and all that, but you look at her. She doesn't. You look at the likes of Boom Gardner and you look at the likes of Savannah. They've been in really, really, really good fights. Really
Boom
hard
Gardner's
fights.
been some of them special shakes with nuts and berries and whatnot.
Nuts, juices, berries.
What's the no testing for women now in boxing?
I don't know what the protocol. I don't know what way the protocol would be for women. You know,
Terry will probably know how that's all out. He's quite up on
that. There's so much. Terry would know this. Like even recently, there in athletics, there was the girls.
I don't like to go deep into all that drug thing. I tried to study that clomiphene, Kent, you know, and all I could find on it, and all Julian could find, it's a masking agent, isn't it?
So what Clomid is? Clomid is basically technically no, and I'll go into it. So say someone was on a heavy dose of testosterone for a period of time. They're taking testosterone. So after 4 to 6 weeks, your body starts not producing it naturally because it's getting the testosterone synthetically. So it stops producing it. So say a cycle of 2 months, you build up a lot of power, a lot of strength. And what you need to do is you come off the cycle. And what they do is when you come off the cycle, your body has stopped producing testosterone naturally. So what they do is clomiphene, you go on a course of clomiphene, And what clomiphene does is helps your body naturally produce testosterone again, so you don't lose any of the gains that you've had when you're on your cycle.
All right, is that how it works?
So if my understanding of it is, if someone has been caught taking clomiphene, they've been taking heavier stuff before it.
Who was?
It's a
Who
fighter.
was? Well, this is how I look at it, right? Is he hiding? They've obviously caught him now, and I think a lot on it's now. A few people in industry have said to me, and I'm not sure if I agree with him, but if I'm going to agree with them, they're saying the reason it's taking so long now is it's whether he's going to squeal or not squeal, because he's been caught with a masking agent 2 times, but they split it into 4 tubes, so 4 tests over a year are all positive. We agree on that, don't we?
Yep.
The A's and the B's. Where's your B sample? The B samples have failed and the A's. So now they're going to say, right, you failed for this masking agent. What was you hiding, and who gave you the drugs to start with that you're hiding, and who gave you the stuff? Somebody who's really up on it to mask over it. I think Usman gave, I think, personally, reading between the lines, I could be wrong. I think Usman gave him the masking agent. I don't think he gave him the drugs. I think the drugs were in him, and I think he come on board to hide it, and he's disappeared, hasn't he? It's the hiding it that's the problem. Do you see what it's like? If you're parked outside a bank and you're plotting to rob it, and you're going to do it with guns and all that, you get more than if you actually do it, because they don't know what could have happened. It's called conspiracy, isn't it? Plotting and all that. And that's with them. They were plotting, weren't they? He's knee deep in it. He's been caught. He hadn't just been. The reason this story is massive, he hadn't just been caught taking performance enhancing drugs. He's been caught with the stuff that's got rid of the performance enhancing drugs in his body. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's pretty bad what's gone on, isn't it? We agree on that, don't we?
We had the whole thing with the WBC as well, that there was certain matchroom fighters that hadn't signed to random testing at the time.
Well, Felix Cash, one of them.
I'm not sure if Felix Cash was one of them, but Chris Billum-Smith, I remember at the time, I think it was some technicality. I think it was like his papers had been sent or something like that. So I'm not going to go too deep into that. But as well,
you know, it Cordina or Cash? What they kept pulling out fights. We never get to the bottom of it. You see, with this lot, do we? 2 seconds. Keep going. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah. And you know, if you haven't signed up for random testing, then 6 months later you fail a test.
Yeah. That's there. Sorry, go on. Yeah, go on.
You know, if you oh yeah, I'll sign up for it next week, or I'll sign up for it next week, I'll sign up for it next week. And then you sign up to it, then 6 months later, you fail a drugs test.
Brought that out, Ken, that WBC testing program. You know why they brought it out? I know why they brought that out. It's because they want to just make sure that you're staying with them. Because when you've got to give them money all the time to beat rankings. You know that, don't you?
Oh yeah, it's
in that they're like leeches. These people, all of them from all organisations. If you want to be in the 4 governing bodies at welterweight, you've got to pay them. You've got to pay to play, to get that ranking right. You've got to pay these people. So what they've done, they've said, right, do you want to be part of our clean testing program? No, we're going to make you so clean. It's great and it's health and safety. So you buy into it. What you're doing, you're paying them for testing, right? And they also know that because you're paying for that, you're guaranteed for your slot. So if you keep paying them, they'll keep putting you up rankings. And look what they did with WBA. When they were with WBA, Conor Bennett had a handful of fights, and they were WBA number 5, and I went berserk, didn't I? Everybody went mad. Do you remember?
Yeah, absolutely.
He come out of nowhere. They beat nobody in the top 100, and he slotted in at number 5. How can that be? Is that corruption or incompetence? Or fucking both?
You go and look at the WBA rankings for heavyweight. Look at the rankings at heavyweight. It is Jonathan Goudry has appeared in the heavyweight rankings of the WBA. That says it all.
Yeah.
Trevor Bryant still ranked in the
Trevor
WBA.
Bryant, number 15. He's a Don King fighter, isn't he?
Wow.
And he just lost, hasn't he?
That hasn't fought since Daniel Dubois put him in the orbit.
Dave Allen had battered him if he'd have fought him. I think so. I think David has seen him off. What's happening with David? It's Big Freeze. Is that all going to be sorted now? Beefy and Eubank are on.
Yeah, it just tells you, you just go back to what was spoke about last year. We were talking about Conor Benn, and for months they were talking about that happening in Saudi, and every other day we're going to hear, yeah, there's going to be an announcement, and there's going to be an announcement. Yeah, there was an announcement. It's Beefy Smith against Eubank Jr. Would you pay for that to watch it?
I'm not going to pay for it.
I wouldn't pay to watch
what level is Eubank?
Eubank,
British, European or world. What level is he?
Eubank won a British title.
What level? That was 10 years ago, Ken. What level is he now? Or 8 years ago, whatever it was. What level is he now, Eubank?
He's a domestic level fighter.
Well, is that English or British?
He's a British level fighter. He's domestic.
Does he beat Bentley? Does he beat Bentley? He's a good British solid guy. And does he beat him, Denzel Bentley?
Definitely not. Nowhere near.
Well, so if he's British level, Denzel Bentley, Eubank's English stroke British then Commonwealth type. Yeah? Commonwealth
I would put Bentley in a European level fighter.
What would you put Eubank?
British.
You think Eubank's British level? I don't think he is, mate. I think the British champion at middleweight flogs him.
I don't even think he's not even the best, as you say. I think he's British level, as in he would be top 5.
Sean Yaxley, you know Sean Yaxley, Joe Gallagher's guy, 154 guy.
Yeah.
He could step up to 160 and flog Eubank on the spot now. Now. And I've seen I got pads and lot. He'd do Eubank now. An hungry 154 young lad is smash him to bits. Just punch him upside down. I'm telling you now. Easily.
I said 2 years ago on the channel, and a lot of people give me stick about it, that I said that I thought Denzel Bentley would beat Eubank, Felix Cash would beat Eubank, and I listed off a lot of other British names that would beat Eubank, and people laughed at me, and I was right. I was right all along. I think he's regressed so much that I can't see him having a chance against Beefy Smith in the rematch. No chance. Well, what's he going to do to going to beat Beefy Smith differently?
I don't know. Maybe let his hands go and just come flying at him. Beefy Smith's a solid British stroke Euro guy in it. That's about it, really, in it. He'd be lucky to win a European title now at that weight. That's what I think.
Fundamentally, what is Eubank going to do is going to beat Beefy Smith. Boxing fundamentals.
I don't think he can. I don't think he can. He ain't got any.
He hasn't got any.
Conor Benn out though, has he?
No, he's loads of clomiphene in his body. That's what he's got. That was savage. But fundamentally, Eubank Jr. was actually better 10 years ago when his dad was involved, and when his dad was helping him out, and he was he was doing like some coaching with him, and his dad was just in the mix around him, and people were like, yeah, get him away from and he does make everything about himself, Eubank Senior, but he actually knows boxing, and he's been calling it out on various channels, and now everyone is ganging up on him and saying, oh, mentally he shouldn't be doing interviews and this and that. Well, why shouldn't he? Because he's talking the truth about a lot of the stuff. And I think fundamentally Eubank Jr. is even worse now than he did when he turned pro. He's went back so far, and I can't actually see I'm doing anything. I think I see basically the exact same fight over and over. I could see him getting knocked out again.
Can you?
Yeah, his punch resistance is absolutely gone. You know, he made that weight. You know, we had that weight stipulation for the Crusher fight, and he went and made it as a
Crusher.
bravado.
We're talking about him like he's some geezer that goes around crushing people to death, aren't we?
He's never been in a fight in his life.
Crusher.
He's never been in
He
a
hasn't
fight in
got
his
a
life.
jab ban. His father never had a jab.
No.
His dad were all right hand leads all the time, you remember?
Right hand, left hook.
What right hand, left hook? That's like every man in pub going outside to have a fight. It's always right hand, left hook, isn't it?
Right hand, left hook.
Kent, what about Carl Froch setting about Big Meech, aka Marvis Fraser? Anthony Joshua, the Marvis Fraser of the UK.
Wow, that's some nickname. That's class. He's an opinion on it, and what's wrong with having an opinion? You know, people are saying it's jealousy and this and that. Carl Froch made an absolute fortune in his career. Fortune. He's multiple businesses. He's come out healthy. He's come out with a fantastic legacy. He's a fortune in the bank. What's wrong with having an opinion? Everything he's saying about AJ is absolutely correct.
Building tower blocks, Froch. Tower blocks, mate, with his consortium. How's about that one? Tower blocks in Nottingham. Unbelievable. Where he's come from. He's done fantastic, mate. And all for what? For going out your comfort zone and letting your hands go and not being afraid to get hit to land one and being a tough guy. What a legend. Guy's a legend.
But he's right about Joshua. Joshua is afraid of his own shadow.
Ken, do you know when we used to go boxing shows all the time and you go and you're excited, aren't you? If it's a guy on that's exciting. Oh, exciting. I remember, I know I've gone on about this all the time. We used to go and piss around Nottingham, me and my mates, and theirs would be up on standing on our arms because we knew we were in for a treat. Because, do you know what I mean, kind of thing. No matter what, we were in for a treat, and we were waiting for that song coming out. We will rock you. Boom, boom, boom. And that'd be it, mate. I wish we could find somebody who we can follow like that, who's prepared to put it all on the line. You know, Gatti style, Ward style, Froch style.
I've got one.
Diego Corrales. You know, oh man, we got. We got.
I've got one.
Lawrence Okoli. Go on.
The Hands of Foam.
Campbell Hands of Foam. What's happening with him, Kent? What's happening with all Hands of Foam?
He couldn't beat soap off a rope, Russell.
He couldn't what?
He couldn't beat soap off a rope.
He couldn't beat soap off a rope.
Definitely not.
I'm telling you now that where's that video? I had a video I know I'm going to tell you about. Campbell Hands of Foam, right? His dad's a millionaire and he's been carefully matched, right? He's all over the place. I told you about that Eddie Hughes, didn't I, from Mexborough, punched him upside down and smashed him up.
Eddie Hardy.
Eddie
Hardy.
Yeah. From Woodlands, don't he? Punched him upside down, southpaw. Nobody mentions that kid, do they?
Definitely not.
In amateurs. Look, it's a cash grab, innit? Right? They know that. Listen, Ricky Hatton knows it more than anybody. I mean, Matthew Hatton actually fought Canelo for a WBC belt. An area level guy fighting for a WBC belt. Worked that one out. And he never took an army out there, did he? They sold it as they were going to go out there with an army. Oh my God. Hey, oh my God. Hey, what is all that about, Kent? Hey, magic, Matthew Hatton. Magic? What magic was there in that? An area level guy running
Daniels
for 12 rounds for his life. What on earth was that?
More like Paul Daniels.
On back of what? Pinching a European title? Cause jeez.
Remember the big fight?
Fraud!
I'll tell you, Bill. I'll tell you, Bill. I remember this. This was cringing, right? Wait for this. Remember the card, the War of the Roses?
Yeah, Kell Brook against Matthew Hatton.
Yeah. How bad was that? How bad was that?
He gave him a beating, bashed him up.
How bad was that? Even as a like a name of a show, it's cringing, like, isn't it? It's cringeworthy, isn't it?
War of the Roses. You know what? When they use that one, it's when Lancashire play Yorkshire at cricket. They play at Headingley, or they play at Bradford Park Avenue, or they play at Lancashire's Old Trafford, or that other ground they use. That's the War of the Roses. That's it. Yorkshire against Lancashire. That's what it means, isn't it?
It's like, I'm looking at BoxRec here, right? So Matthew Hatton lost to Craig Watson, right? Okay. Then ended up drawn with Livermore Undo. Then got a fight against Colano. That's madness.
Do you know when he looks in the mirror, Matthew Hatton, when he gets up in the morning, he has that man in the mirror moment. He looks in the mirror and then in his there's pictures of him. There's pictures of Matthew Hatton in his house with European title belt around him and all that. And you must look at that and you must think, do you know what? I didn't get there on ability. I got there because my brother had an army that followed him about. And he were carefully selected. Let me tell you this. They didn't want to fight everybody Dennis put in front of them. No, they wanted easy ones. And he didn't fight nobody. The pinched money. Well, that's what they're about, aren't they, them Athens? The pinched money, mate. Pinched it. Unbelievable.
Was Craig Watson not the fighter that dropped Amir Khan as an amateur in his last amateur fight? Before Mario Kindelan? Remember they had the whole Mario Kindelan?
Yeah, I think he did, yeah. I think
Craig, if anyone hasn't seen that, go and watch Craig
Michael
Watson.
Gomez dropped him in pros, didn't he?
Body shot. Well, he was dropped a couple of times with body shots.
Press him for Commonwealth, did he, or whatever?
Prescott put him to the moon, Russell.
He put him up moon with them other 100 that Big John's put up there, pop, pop, bang.
Russell,
you know, I laugh, Kent, I'm him.
I'm just so happy that Helmets is back.
Why?
It was brilliant. That's the best. That's one of the best videos, Helmet videos of all time. That's pound for pound for me, a Helmet pound for pound video. That was savage.
Well, I didn't get paid for it because I was grassed up for putting a couple of clips in it. Well, I knew that would happen. That was. I'm not really bothered anyway. Seven little clips of. Sorry, there were various clips in it, but I think 7 of them were from different organisations, and a couple of them reported me. So I'm not really bothered because
listen, you
it
have
costs
to
a lot of money
that.
to do that. You know, you've seen invoice, not cheap, and then you don't get paid for it. But it's like an investment in your channel because every now and then you've got to throw them something, haven't you? Something that's a bit jazzed up, haven't you? If I could have a tech guy all day in the office next door, they want to come, they can be there 4 hours a day for me, 4 days a week. Anybody got any tech skills and you want a job, 16 hours a week, 10 an hour, and you're a young lad, that's 160 quid. All right? Get in touch, porkycorner@mail.com. And if you can cut it, we'll see about upping your dough. Because if I had an in-house tech guy, I could terrorise the other boxing all day long. All day long. But I'm not prepared to go paying these tech guys. They're fantastic, but they're too dear, but they've learnt the craft, so they're entitled to it. I just prefer some young kid who's nearly as good and a lot cheaper. And then we'll build to that. So if anybody's after a job as an in-house tech guy, and you can put it with me 4 days a week, 4 hours a day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 10 while 2, let me know. I don't want you there 6 while 5 or something. You do me head in. 4 hours next door. I'll prep in the morning, then I'll film and go through it, what I want with you, and that's it. And then you can upload them. thumbnail guy I've got. If anybody wants a tech job and you're good, porkycorner@mail.com, get in touch. No shithousers apply, because there's a lot of good gunners. Gonna do this, gonna do that. Dale Harrison, plenty to say out in comments. Yeah, okay. What happened to your email, Dale? You're missing, aren't you? Get in touch. We'll get you on today. That's from me to you, Dale. All right. Don't chat pony on my channel. Gonna do this, gonna do that. Pet 8 of mine. The world's full of gunners. I've had 8 years of it. That 9 years listening to Dennis's tripe that he comes out with about having something bubbling. He's still chatting the same old nonsense he were 9 years ago. Don't chat nonsense. Don't say you're going to do something. Fucking do it. Or don't get in touch with me again. I'll just have you blocked. So I don't know how to fucking block them. I don't know how to do it, Ken. Can't fathom it. So I think that's about it. Oh, what else we haven't covered, Kent?
Just rinsed everybody, Russell. Everybody's been rinsed.
They need it, don't they, for chatting a load of shit. Shit chatters in boxing. It's full of them. Off with their heads. If you can't hack it, go and get a job. Then a way around boxing. Sponsors. What, mate?
You vented a lot today, Russell. You've done a lot of venting.
It's all right. I've been like this all week. I've had it on me all week. And like I said, woe betide anybody who gets in my way. I've been training hard on it at the moment. And you're on little food, aren't you? I'm not fucking partying or I'm not drinking. It's a bit shit, innit? I do a bit of a run in the morning with my dogs and that's it. But I just pissed off with boxing, mate. When boxing's flying, I'm flying. When it's like it is at the moment, it depresses me and all I'm thinking about is taking drugs. So I have to keep myself busy to not think about taking drugs, don't I? Do you know what I mean?
So
I've got pricks on here sending me pictures of foil with gear on every day, Kent, now. And you know what? I don't even think about it no more, but they think I do. It's not. I'm thinking about smoking weed or getting pissed up or just escaping this madness of what we're doing here with this. Because where is boxing heading, Kent? Where?
Well, we'll have a positive. So
what? Spence Crawford?
Yeah.
2 Yanks, Kent. I'm on about UK. Where's UK fights? Let's have O'Hara Davison with Josh Taylor. O'Hara's riding high and he wants his revenge. Josh Taylor's just lost and it looks like he might be on slide now. Let's get them at it. I can get behind that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Josh Taylor against O'Hara Davis. It would be a different story now, wouldn't it? Be a better fight, wouldn't it? O'Hara's more rounded and more seasoned, isn't it? The other kids already got all that, but has he got the desire? I think that's a great fight. Great fight, mate. They could have that in Scotland and sell it out, man, up there, that Glasgow arena. Well, I want to see something like that, mate. Something a bit different. I mean, everybody else gets rematches, don't they? O'Hara Davis hasn't had one, has he?
No.
In fact, he's been treated like a dog, O'Hara Davis, a dog.
Yeah.
He's been treated like a dog, mate, him. That's what I think, anyway. So, right. Oh, you want an odd, Kent?
That's basically it. We've just been rinsing people for 2 hours here. I think it's.
Have you got a bird yet, Kent, or are you still single?
If I had a bird, Russell, do you honestly think I would come on and tell everybody on YouTube to get absolutely rinsed?
Well, that means you must have one then, Kent.
Would I? Do you honestly think I would get absolutely go on here? I get rinsed as it is with everything. So
Kent, stay away from women. They weaken legs and they take off.
Well, that's what Chris Eubanks Sr. said.
Well, he should know. He's been married a few times, hasn't he?
3 times.
Go ask Dennis what they take. And then he goes and does it again. Pop, pop,
mad. Mad. I think Dennis has had more wives than Phil Collins.
No, he's only had 2, mate. Frank Warren's had a few, hasn't he?
Has he? Didn't know that.
Frank's had a few, hasn't he? Yeah, I'm not sure if it's 2 or 3. I'm not sure, but listen, he looks like he's stood by all his kids, doesn't it? So you've got to give him credit. And he is boxing bricked up, isn't he? It's just that he's pissing us off with this Ngannou fight. But then again, it's like my mate just said to me last night. Maybe Fury's are getting bricked up the runaround, Porky, and
Russell,
maybe his hands are tired. He can't do that with him.
my opinion on it is, right. You see Bricktop the last week or so, Frank Warren
It's going to cut out, Ken.
Go to 3.
Go on then, pop bang.